Hey YouTubers, welcome to Rolling with the Davises. Dave and Becky here, headed out Middlemarch Road between Pearce, Arizona and Tombstone, Arizona. Little Red gave us some problems this day as we headed off a side chute road called Sorin Pass. She broke down not once, not twice, but 5 times. Come along, it's a day that should have just been a few hours, turned into us being chased by sunset and getting back to home. This was the day that started out at 15 degrees while we were at Whitewater Draw watching the sandhill cranes. I'll link that video below. We did spot some coos deer up on the hill. These were quite a ways away from us, and I thought there was 3, but I only see 1 in these pictures. Probably me, just trying to find them through the viewfinder. Later, we had a buck cross the road in front of us. As you can see, this is just an Arizona gravel road. There's no obstacles, there's no issues, just a nice ride through the wilderness of Arizona. The road does get a little steeper as you head up to Sorin Pass itself. And of course, that's where Little Red decided to have her first breakdown.
What the heck?
Have you all ever had these kind of problems on the trail? Do you carry spare parts? Do you carry tools? What would you do in this kind of situation? Let me know in the comments below. Takes me a minute. You're turning too soon. Go back down the way we came. You turned too soon. Whoa. Slow down, Dave.
Well, don't get behind me.
I'm not.
I need to start cutting or I'll never make it back in there.
All right. It's a little steep right here. Dave's got a crazy theory about what he thinks happened that day. Not sure I'm going to share it. I'm really going to have to think about it because it seems really crazy. You want to get flatter?
Go push it. Can you push it there?
Straighten your wheels out. Go turn the wheels, driver. I know. All right, I'm going to give it a try.
All right, hold on.
Luckily, there was a campsite just to our right that we could get Little Red backed into. Just felt like the Jeep ran out of gas, so we assumed that the mechanical fuel pump on the side of the engine had failed. Luckily, Dave carries a spare electric fuel pump that he installed and got us back on the trail.
We made it up here to Sorin Pass. The last about a 1/4 mile hill there we were coming up, and it's a pretty good trail. Our fuel pump quit pumping. So I did have an electric fuel pump there, and we got it hooked up, so we're good to go. We're up here by ourselves, which, you know, that's not the best way to be. We just did get cell phone coverage here on top of the mountain. We didn't have it coming up from where we broke down at. It's a very desolate area here. There's not much around. If we look way off into the distance here, right on the horizon, we can see the traffic on Interstate 10, and it's a long way to anything from up at this point. So this was a pretty trail. The last time we tried to run it, the road was washed out down at the bottom there, and we didn't get a chance to do it. We had a video here from a couple years ago on that. But we're having a good time. You know, I'm just glad I had an electric fuel pump.
Okay, we're gonna eat some lunch, and then head back to the RV.
Yeah.
We would have liked to gone the 2 more miles to the dead end here, but I don't think we're going to do that today after already having issues and having a breakdown.
Right.
Breakdown number 2 ended up not being anything major. One of the alligator clips that attached the wires from the electric fuel pump to the battery came undone.
Well, that one came off. Get in, right? Quickly as possible.
Dave was afraid the electric fuel pump would be damaged if we let it run dry too long, or just let it run deadhead too long. Dave had seen this mine shaft on our way up the trail, and he wanted to stop and explore. After starting in, I saw it was a little crowded, and I opted to stay with the Jeep, which he left running along the side of the trail.
Yeah, it's almost 7 feet tall in here. Wow, that's something else. Get in here with some note ropes. Well, I can see there's another offshoot right there. Wow, this goes way on up in there, huh? Probably goes way farther here than I want to get into it. We got a little offshoot right here. That dead ends. My dead end's right there, and it's still going. Oh! Wow. All right. Well, we've done well. We can't see daylight behind us. That's how far we came in. So it curved a little bit, but we're going back. This was on the trail that we were on. I hear the Jeep quit out there. I hope we ain't got a problem with the fuel pump.
So because we didn't want the fuel pump to run dry, it's always a scramble to get it shut off when the Jeep quit. The hood has a lock on it, which for some reason we insisted on locking that day. Then you got the two side clips. Then you got to lift it, and you either got to stand there and hold it to get the clips undone, or you got to put the prop up, hold the hood up, then get the clips undone. And of course, it doesn't help that we were pulled in against this tree and the briars and everything else that bites you in the desert. So at this point, Dave thought maybe the fuel pump was too far away from the gas tank. We switched it from the passenger side of the Jeep to the driver's side of the Jeep. And for some reason, that got us going again. So as we went through more process of elimination, Dave thought maybe the line from the fuel tank to the pump either had a crack in it or was sucking shut, not sure. So we ended up replacing part of the line from the solid line from the fuel tank to the pump itself. We replaced the rubber line. That got us up and running again for the fourth time. The fifth breakdown happened right where Sorin Pass Rd reconnected to Middlemarch Rd. By this time, I was completely out of GoPro batteries. What we ended up doing was having to suck gas out of the gas tank of the Jeep into this 2-gallon can that we carry with us and jury-rig the pump into that to the engine. When we got back, Dave dropped the fuel tank, looked at everything that was attached to it, put the fuel tank back up, and we have not had a problem since. When Dave tells the story, he likes to blame it on the spirit of Cochise. Cochise didn't want us back there today, so he was messing with us. He's crazy. We know he's crazy. That theory's crazy. So what do you think? And as always, let's keep rolling.